And welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take the taillights off the Chevrolet Impala. Why? Because two reasons. One, I just want to make a little how-to video on how easy it is to take these taillights off, and two, being that this is a former law enforcement vehicle, I did notice that there's a couple little aftermarket light bulbs in the taillight assembly, and I'd like to see one, how they're attached, two, what exactly they are, and three, if there's actually still wiring hiding back there. So let's get to it. So here we have Chevrolet Impala taillights. And I don't know if you can see real well in there, but that is not a stock bulb. This is stock reverse light bulb, but this is something else. And then on the other side I have something very similar. Stock reverse lights right there. I don't know how well it's coming through, but that is some sort of aftermarket bulb, most likely a flasher of some kind. So what I'm curious about is, one, I want to show you guys how easy it is to pop one of these tail lights off, and two, I want to know what exactly that thing is and how it's attached. So I'm about to make the coolest tripod ever. This is an equipment tray, and then this is actually a push bumper mounting bracket, and I'm going to set the camera directly on that. So there's a plastic little cover clip right here, and there's one on the other side, so I can pull this piece of plastic trim off. Basically, just has a couple plastic clips here. Apparently that one didn't line up at some point in its life, but they go into these slots, and there's a plastic slot right here, or a metal little gripper piece for this pieces of plastic on here and here. There may have been other metal pieces on these, but I doubt it because I don't see any little scratch marks. So I'm guessing they just never had the pieces there. So there you go. Basically you take the one little plastic, I guess, little wing nut thing off, and then I've got two more. So basically, there's those three plastic wing nuts that actually hold the entire taillight assembly into the back of the car. And then let me go ahead and move this thing back. As you can see, the metal studs just disappeared because I pulled on this actual taillight assembly. And it just slides right off the back. So this is how you get access to the actual light bulb. So there's a bulb here, there's an OEM bulb down here somewhere, the wiring harness is here, and then this is that extra bulb that I was talking about, trying to figure out what it is. So if we follow this cord around, it actually leads to this thing, which tells me it is an LED Vertex. I don't know how well that's coming through, but made by Whelen. So Vertex Blue. And then there's some wiring, it looks like, down in here. I don't know how far down this goes, but it looks like there may be another wire heading across the bumper there, probably over to the other tail light. And then there's another wire that goes into this little, looks like a grommet, and then comes out to this side. And let's see where this wire goes. Looks like it goes underneath. Oh, and it's cut. So there you go. Looks like they lobbed it off at some point. Looks like there's a white, black, and red wire in there. But yeah, there you go. So I've got what appears to be a blue vertex tucked away in my taillight. Kind of interesting. Had this car for a few years now and never knew it was there. Alright, so just for fun, I put a little battery on the end of the wire there, and yeah, it's definitely blue. And yeah, that one's definitely blue too. Now you can kind of see what I did here. I just literally stuck it to a 9-volt battery real fast just to see if they worked, if they light up, that whole thing. Not the brightest things in the world, but kind of funny to see them work. So in order to put everything back, you just line up 1, 2, 3, 4 with the holes over here. And, well, I guess over here too. But, yeah, just slide it back in and, I guess, lock everything back down. So, basically, you just reconnect. Oh, there we go, it's focusing. The little, plastic wing nut that looks like this, but it's up here. Of course, there's not enough light to show you, but there's one here, one up there. And then, you go ahead and put the carpet panel back. And then this final one goes on. And of course the final one, I don't know how well you can see it, has little, I guess, arms or hooks in case you have like a trunk cargo net or something like that that you want to put across the back here. And then basically, if it'll focus, you got a couple of plastic covers that go here and on this side, and then you just make sure those 4 slots get into the places where they're supposed to go. And then that one just pops on there. And that one pops on there. And you're done. So for those of you that are wondering why did they leave the blue LEDs in the taillight there, well, my best guess is because they don't want to open up a big hole inside of the taillight assembly. I mean, that's probably a 3/4 inch, or maybe it's even an inch hole. I didn't really measure it, but I guess it's 3/4 inch. I'm sure somebody down in the comments will mention what the actual size is because I'm kind of lazy. But anyway, you don't want to leave that big old hole in the taillight there because then insects and other things will get in there and potentially make the light less effective, the light, that the OEM light for the car. So in that case, it would be for the reverse lights. So if something went in there nested because there's a big gaping hole, you wouldn't be able to see reverse lights anymore. Odds of that happening in both taillight assemblies kind of slim, but it could. So they probably just left them in there to keep the hole plugged, to be my guess. As for lighting up those lights, what I did is I basically stripped the wires that were already just kind of left there and just, put them to a little battery just to see if they would come on. I have zero intentions of ever actually trying to run a wire up to the front and try to power those. But I did it for the sake of the video because I'm sure you guys are curious, and I was kind of curious to see if they're actually blue or if they're white. Because if they're white, they're useful to me. If they're blue, they can just stay there and fill the hole, I guess. I can't really do anything with blue in Florida. However, if I were, say, a volunteer firefighter up in like Pennsylvania or something, those could be useful to me because I think those guys up there run blue lights to show that they're a volunteer. Whereas in Florida, blue lights mean law enforcement. So, being that I have no way to power those right now other than, taking a battery and manually connecting it, I don't think I have anything to worry about because, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, what they look like if they work, the whole 9 yards. And like I said, I was kind of curious to see if they're actually blue or if they were some other color. So there you go. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed seeing the video. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing that happen. Pretty simple on how to take those taillights on and off. I mean, both sides are pretty much the same way, just 3 little plastic wing nuts, and then the little plastic cover, at the edge of the trunk lid there, the trunk lid closing area. I don't know what you'd describe that as. I'm not a mechanic. And that brings up a good point. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a lighting expert. I'm just some guy on YouTube. So if you're actually watching this video for like technological advice, use it at your own risk, because if I do something and it happens to work for me and it happens to burn your garage down, that's your problem, guy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Glad you checked out the video. Leave a comment if you'd like to. I noticed we still got the comment war going on to see who's first. And love to all of you. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Yeah, remote start never gets old. Never gets old, especially when it's on a vehicle that you never would have expected it to be on. Oh yeah.